Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Ashley Clement. Thanks again for joining us today for the news we've been checking for you. Investigators worked through the night to determine what led a truck driver to plow down people on a riverfront bike path near the World Trade Center, brandishing air guns and yelling, quote, "God is great," end quote, in Arabic, as his deadly route of terror ended with a crash, authorities said. 8 people were killed and 11 seriously injured in a Halloween afternoon attack that the mayor called, quote, "a particularly cowardly act of terror," end quote. The driver, identified by officials as an immigrant from Uzbekistan, was in critical condition but expected to survive after a police officer shot him in the abdomen. A roughly 2-mile stretch of highway in downtown Manhattan was shut down for the investigation. Authorities also converged on a New Jersey apartment building and a van in a parking lot at a New Jersey Home Depot store. Authorities were scrutinizing a note found inside the attacker's rented truck. House Republican leaders plan to propose preserving the top income tax rate for very wealthy people, a last-minute adjustment to their plan to overhaul the tax code that they hope will assuage concerns that it will mainly benefit the rich. GOP leaders had planned to collapse the 7 existing income tax brackets into 3 brackets, lowering the top rate from 39.6% to 35%. But now will retain the top bracket for people earning more than a certain threshold, perhaps $1 million. The detail was one of several that emerged Tuesday as GOP leaders scrambled to put the final touches on their plan, widely seen as the last best chance for Trump and congressional Republicans to advance a major policy achievement this year. U.S. senators harshly criticized representatives of Facebook, Twitter, and Google at a hearing Tuesday for not doing more to prevent Russian agents interfering with the American political process as early as 2015. At one point, Senator Al Franken shook his head after he couldn't get all the companies to commit to not accepting political ads bought with North Korean currency. The hearing by the subcommittee of the Senate Judiciary Panel was moved last week into a cavernous hearing room usually reserved for high-profile events like Supreme Court confirmations. About 50 people waited to get in as senators fired pointed questions and waved at cardboard displays of outrageous ads. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell exhibited no interest Tuesday in considering legislation shielding the special counsel from Donald Trump, even as Republicans warned the president against interfering with Robert Mueller's investigation. McConnell's remarks came as Trump continued using Twitter to complain about the continued focus on, quote, phony Trump or Russia connections, instead of Hillary Clinton and Democrats. They also came a day after Mueller's inquiry into Russian meddling during the 2016 presidential race, which yielded a guilty plea and 2 indictments of Trump campaign officials. 2 bipartisan bills were introduced months ago that would make it harder for a special counsel to be fired. After an initial flurry of support, the bills have stalled as Trump has softened his public criticism of Mueller. We woke up to a very cold morning today, but there is some nice weather on the way. Here's Mr. Charbonneau with the forecast.
We really did start off very cold today with low temperatures just barely above the freezing point. But we'll warm up in the mid-60s this afternoon and stay warmer than normal overnight, with a low temperature around 60 degrees. Now, we remain warmer than normal on Thursday as morning sun raises our temperatures closer to 70 degrees. Now, we should be in the low 50s for this time of year. Friday is shaping up to be an absolutely beautiful day. Bright sunshine and highs again near 70. Now, there's some longer range data that shows a new system that will bring some rain showers to the area on Saturday afternoon. But temperatures remain warmer than normal. That's a quick look at our weather. I'm Michael. Have a great day.
For the second straight year, the World Series champion will be decided in a Game 7. Here's Jolie with sports.
Kenley Jansen blew a 94-mile-per-hour pitch past Carlos Beltran, drop of a 6-out save Tuesday night. and Dodger Stadium roared with equal elements of excitement and anticipation after the home team's 3-1 Game 6 victory. This World Series is just too good to go anything less than 7 games. The Los Angeles Dodgers and Houston Astros will play for a championship in Los Angeles on Wednesday night, wrapping up 2 outstanding seasons in Game 7, the biggest stage in North American team sports. 2 100-win teams will play a winner-take-all finale to the baseball season for the first time since 1931. Yu Darvish will start for the Dodgers while Lance McCullers gets the ball for the Astros. Game time is around 8:15. Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Clemson are the top 4 teams in the first college football playoff rankings of the season. Oklahoma and Ohio State were the next 2 in the selection committee's initial top 25. The final rankings that will determine the participants in the college football playoff semifinals come out December 3rd. Syracuse will look to take another step in keeping their bowl hopes alive when it travels to Florida State this Saturday. Speaking of the Orange, the men's basketball team takes to the Carrier Dome floor tonight for an exhibition game against Division II Southern New Hampshire. The team was picked to finish 10th in the ACC this year. The Olympic flame arrived in South Korea, where it will be passed throughout the country by thousands of torchbearers on a 100-day journey to the opening ceremony of the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. South Korean figure skating prospect Yu Young will kick off the 2018 meter trip from Incheon on Wednesday. Pyeongchang's organizers have designated 7,500 torchbearers to carry the Olympic flame, which arrived at the Incheon International Airport after a handover ceremony in Athens on Tuesday. That's a look at sports. I'm Jolie. Have a great day.
Don't forget to change your clocks this weekend. We turn back the clocks an hour beginning Sunday morning. And the first quarter comes to a close with just 1 week left. The marking period officially ends November 9th. And finally, Mexico Drama takes to the stage this Friday and Saturday when it presents The Bold, the Young, and the Murdered. Curtain both nights opens at 7 p.m. That's all for us today. Thanks again for making us part of your day. I'm Ashley Clement. Look for us again on Friday.